Also, welcome back to another episode of It Is What It Is podcast. I'm your host, Cody Kelly. Look, I appreciate you. If nobody else appreciates my audience, I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Look, connect with me everywhere on all social media platforms, but my two favorite ones, Instagram is CVMK and YouTube. When it pops up, you can subscribe to the link below, YouTube at CV Space K, Anchor, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever your podcast preference is, we are there. I have an amazing episode with an amazing guest highlighting this gym owner and fitness influencer, Bo. Bo, how you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate this so much. So, Bo, you're not just a fitness influencer. You actually own a gym, right?
Yeah, I'm right here right now.
Right here, right now. And it seems like for a lot of influencers, it's like the goal, whether they say it or not, is to one day own and operate a gym. But I always hear that there's this negative connotation because it's just so expensive. The equipment is so expensive. Trying to get licensed, proper insurance, clientele, like there's just a lot of things that go into it. So first of all, start me on your journey. How did you get to this place? And then walk me through the mind of a gym business owner.
All right. Well, how far away do you want me to start the journey?
Start after birth, somewhere before, somewhere after puberty. Let's start there.
Puberty, that's a fun one. So a little over 10 years, I immigrated from Ukraine to the U.S. Right now, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. I immigrated without knowing any English. I knew the basic like hello, bye, and where's the restroom. So I immigrated not knowing the language. I had to go through a lot of like growing pains, learning the language, figuring out, like as a trainer, you also have to learn the culture too, because I felt a very deep disconnect between the clients and me, having such strong, different upbringings and cultures. And, so it was a big learning curve. And I had personally many different injuries due to not knowing any better. I was always reading like bodybuilding magazines, no pain, no gain. Right. So I did a lot of, let's just call them stupid things in the gym. And one big injury was like, so right above my belly button around here, there was a bubble. It popped out. So I kind of tore what's called the linea alba. It tore apart, and like my skin and my intestines were kind of pushing through and hanging through my skin. So there was a bubble above my belly button. So you're gonna see where I'm going with this. I had this injury. I did everything wrong in the gym. Not everything, but some things, obviously. With that injury, the doctor said, you need a surgery and you will never be able to lift again. If you go to my social media, you'll see that I do a bunch of crazy lifts. That was a long time ago. What I ended up doing is I was disappointed. I was devastated, right? So I started studying the just anatomy of the core itself, all the tissues, not just like muscle here, muscle there, the deep tissues, how it works. I started recovering myself with breathing exercises first, and then a little bit of like a little crunch, but I had the towel around my core. I had to pull it tight so it doesn't, that bubble doesn't pop out while I do light crunches. So it was really, really slow process. I was writing emails and letters to all kinds of different sports medicine doctors and professors, universities, asking them what I should do. And long story short, I became a trainer. I never had the surgery. I'm stronger and fitter than ever. And I want to educate other people, first of all, not to have the injury. Second, to treat their bodies right. And if you give your body what it needs, it will be healthy and strong and serve you well. I didn't know that prior. Now I have an exercise science degree. I have like 8 or 9 certifications. I don't even remember anymore. I just love knowing. And that's my journey as far as becoming a personal trainer and actually helping physical therapists and stuff, assisting them, because I want people to be the strongest, healthiest versions of themselves mentally and physically. So that's why I'm so passionate about this. It's not about just aesthetics and muscles. It's about like health, strength, longevity, feeling great.
I love it. I love it. So you literally took your experience, you took this traumatic experience, and from that pain, basically, your journey kind of opened itself or revealed itself onto you, right?
Pretty
So
much.
as an entrepreneur, as someone you know going down this route, you get your certifications and then you open up this business, right?
Mhm.
What are some of the obstacles? Because I think people think they could just open up a gym. I see a lot of people that are trying to open up these makeshift gyms in their garage, and I don't have anything against that. I mean, every business has a starting point,
Yeah.
but it's like to get to the next step. Walk somebody through that's trying to go down this path.
You know what? Anyone can do it. I'm no special. The one thing you need is you need to have thick skin. You need to be able to work on 4 hour sleeps nights. You need to be creative and extremely resilient. Um, don't expect to like have all your ducks in a row and then you can do it, because they will never get into a row. Every single day, the main point or the main duty of an entrepreneur or a business owner is putting out fires all day, every day, solving problems. So your ducks will never be in a row. And the first year I was struggling and all these stressors, and I was thinking that one day, once my ducks get in a row, it's going to get easier. You just have to figure out how to live with those ducks being all over the place, and figure it out. So don't wait for the perfect opportunity. If you want to start a business, start right now. So my journey, how I started is I knew I want to be a trainer. I got certified. The degree came later. I needed that for credibility and stuff, and I actually learned something. But I just got a personal trainer certification, applied to different big box gyms, started working for a big box gym. I worked there for 4 years, and I learned what I didn't know that I had to learn as a trainer. It turns out it's not all about learning exercises and anatomy. There's much more. There's sales, people, and relationship skills, having conversations, attracting people through your style of training, because every trainer has a different style. The management of clients, and then sales and credit cards and contracts, personal training contracts, and then the systems and the computer. So I learned so many things that I didn't know I have to learn. And then 4 years into that journey of being a trainer, then being a better paid trainer, then being the main guy, and then being the master trainer, having trainers under me, I decided I have to go on my own and do it on my own terms, to where I feel comfortable ethically, financially, and all that stuff, where I can preach and teach what I believe to be the best for my clients.
I love you. You mentioned something, ethically. Like I understand the financial gain that could happen with opening up your own venue
or loss, depending how you run it, and depending when you run it. If you run a gym in 2020, the financial part can be iffy.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that you mentioned the ethics part. So what ethically did you have to separate? Like I've never heard that, from a trainer. What was the tipping point?
Good question. Ethically, so for example, I'm not saying every gym. I'm not saying the gym where I worked at, but a lot of times as a trainer, if you work for a big box gym, what happens is management is putting force on you, or pressure on you to get the signature, sign them for a year, so we have the credit card on file for the next year, and they have no way out. The person that, I don't know, maybe it's not a good fit, but you keep pushing it to collect the next credit card payment check or whatever, So the financial part ethically, The other part is helping people, because again, if you work for big corporations, there's guidelines put on you. Here, I can literally say, you know what? I think you need to go to a physical therapist first, or to a chiropractor or doctor first. And then if you work for a big corporation, you don't have the freedom of saying these things sometimes, depending who you work for, because it can end up being something like, just keep training that person, make them smile. Doesn't matter if they get results or not, just make them smile, make them come back to collect the next payment, And just when I'm here by myself, it's my place. I decide the rules. I decide the machines. So I talked about the financial part, but now the like workout part. I decide what goes into my gym. In the big box gym, me as a trainer, I have to work with what I have in front of me. I have to beg management or the owner to put equipment in that I believe is best for my clients, you know. Here, I control what goes in. I control the cleaning supplies in the gym. I control how clean the floor is, how clean the machines are. I control how clean the toilet seats are in my gym, you know. And I want my clients to feel comfortable. So everything is like, to me, I believe in it, so it's high-end stuff. I invest more, but my clients will learn to trust me, and then I can eventually have a bigger clientele than somewhere else. So there's all these little things. Your insurance, my insurance policy covers everything. It's expensive, but I cover myself and I cover the client. I never had an issue yet. So I'm blessed and lucky, and I take care of my clients. But again, the insurance, the equipment, the cleaning supplies. Some gyms make trainers push supplements. There's some supplements I trust. There's some supplements I would never push on my clients, you know. Some gyms push, some gyms don't. There's so many different moving parts. Does that make sense?
No, that makes a lot of sense. So as far as pushing, and I get it. Thank you for sharing that.
It's a business. It's a business, man.
It is a business, and that's why I want to really crack into talk about that pushing. You know, because I've had the pleasure of interviewing a lot of great fitness influencers. I've connected with a lot of amazing people, but this always, to me, it's like this secret, or we don't, people don't want to talk about. Like, one of the things I've been admiring following The Rock, he's like now talking about the supplements he's taking, right? Like, he's making videos about a breakdown of how many grams of protein, how many grams of creatine. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about those supplements that you trust versus those supplements that you don't.
That's a good topic. Before I do that, I wanted to make really, really sure. Some people know the places where I used to work. Honestly, I was very lucky. So I wasn't, I love that place. I still have a good relationship with those people. I just wanted to create something on my own. I just know from other trainers that it can be very challenging. I was lucky enough where the ownership actually listened to me and put in equipment and stuff that I recommended, because I ended up being like almost the main guy. But I just wanted to put it out there so there's no misunderstanding. Perfect. As far as supplements, honestly, officially, like legally, trainers should not deal much with nutrition altogether. There's dietitians, registered dietitians, nutritionists, and then there's trainers. Trainers should literally deal with training. Trainers can give general ideas of, hey, get your veggies in and stuff. Trainers legally are not allowed to prescribe nutrition. They can probably say something like, if I would be you, I would maybe take this, but there's this fine line. Sometimes with trainers have a hard time not crossing it. And I'm the same way. I want to help my clients with nutrition. So I'm trying to be very careful with that. So just the tip to all trainers and clients as well. Make sure you get your information from a reputable source. But as far as supplements, I can still say what I do, what I would do, and explain what supplements do what. And then clients do or can make educated decisions. So supplements, okay, you're going to be the first person I'm going to ever talk about this. You want to see something really cool?
Sure,
Nobody knows yet. Check this out.
Hey, Super Omega-3s. Okay, BoFit. Hey, your own supplement brand. I see it.
So about 7, 8, 9 months ago, I started working on that, and hasn't started officially yet. I'm starting my own supplement line just because of that. I'm sick and tired of supplements that have garbage ingredients, words that you can't pronunciate, and has like hashtags and numbers instead of foods and ingredients, Right. And also, sometimes they have good ingredients, but they're underdosed. So the average person says, like, I heard turmeric is good for you. How many milligrams or grams do you need? Do you know?
I don't.
See, the average person doesn't know. But if you say turmeric, they think, good, I need that. You know?
Joints. Right.
Yeah, joints, inflammation, and then therefore joints. Yes. So same with protein. It has this many grams of protein. What kind of protein is it? Is it is it isolate? Is it concentrate? Is it soy? Is it pea protein, vegetarian protein,
Right.
whey protein, beef protein? So I just had to do that because I just want to have something that I personally feel comfortable recommending.
It's needed because I'm gonna be honest with you. It's so much propaganda out here, and then I think that they're experimenting with stuff that can be ultimately dangerous. You know, your basic supplements that have basically existed for the last 60 years.
Yeah.
I mean, protein's been out since the 40s. I mean, Arnold was talking about it in Pumping Iron, so that's nothing new. Safe. Creatine's been out since the same amount of time. Nothing new, right? It adds a lot of water weight, but as long as you're not overdosing. Now we've gotten smarter, so you don't have to take like 20 milligrams and, you know, preload and all this other stuff that damages the kidneys, right? Some type of oxidation, okay, but once you start getting beyond that, you got to really walk that thin line because you're heading toward a cliff, right? Why? And I get it. Everybody wants that look. Everybody wants this physique or this image of physique. But do you think gyms as a whole are doing a good job educating their clients, or is it more about the financials? And I get it, it's a business, it's not a non-for-profit, so you can argue that it's not their job, but really I've never belonged to a gym, and I've worked out at some amazing gyms. I mean, some amazing places, right? But the educational piece was never part of it.
I think the consumer becoming smarter forces businesses to be more open and clear about their messaging and about like all that stuff. So be more what's the word I'm looking for? Not see-through, but like transparent. That's the word. So because the consumer is getting more educated, people are starting to realize that you know, a calorie is not a calorie, supplement's not just a supplement, you know. Like you said, you just said we know protein is safe. Well, is it? Because every protein is different, and then what kind of flavoring goes into it? What kind of preservatives go into it? You know, and then do we even need protein powder? My line will not have any protein powders, no pre-workouts, no fat burners. Everything is health and wellness based. My vision, my idea of everything that I do in my gym is get your health in check. A healthy body usually looks good. So become healthy. If you want protein instead of like, I don't have anything against protein, but I want to educate my people first that eat protein, eat your eggs, your cheese, like cottage cheese or farmer's cheese, eat your beans or whatever. They have a little bit of protein, but like your nuts and then your fish, meat, maybe even soy if you can get a good like tofu if you're vegan or vegetarian, whatever. But there's so many different good sources, you know. And then you can also do powder as well. But my whole line is going to be, and this is not an advertisement for it. I haven't even started it yet. But my whole line is wellness, health and wellness, longevity. And if you're healthy, then you can think about aesthetics.
No, that makes sense. I totally agree. The older I get, I'm definitely an advocate for the health and wellness. I think that long term, that's the safest route. I think that anything that can be abused, you know, if it's always this catch-22 because it's like, how do you define it, right? Like, what's the difference between that or somebody drinking a Red Bull before they work out, right? Like, it's because most of it is this sugar and caffeine. I mean, the caffeine content is overdosed, you know, most of the time.
Everyone is overdosing over caffeine, and that's the most abused drug in the world right now.
It's caffeine,
yeah.
So it's just hard to put it in numbers of what should actually go. And then at the same time, because of the lifestyle, you know, if you're able to eat a pre-workout meal, you know, get the proper amount of rest, do all that, then no, you don't really probably need any of that. The problem is that life intervenes, and so we try to take shortcuts. And I think that's where the danger is in the shortcut, right?
Yeah, you know, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is not to do the absolute most perfect thing. No, the goal is to do the best you can, you know? So even with my clients, just do the best you can do right now with your situation. If you're super tired, maybe you shouldn't work out. But if you know the workout's going to make you feel better, maybe you should work out. Well, if you need a little bit of caffeine before, good. You probably know that you shouldn't drink 2 energy drinks a day, right? So just do the best you can. Just do the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it definitely has to be like 2 steps forward if you take 1 step back, you know? So the best you can, not perfect. Perfection is almost unachievable, but you can always be 1% better.
1% better. I like that. 1% better. Let's just be 1% better in life.
You know what? We just mentioned that. I have to mention that here on page 83 of this awesome book. I'll
show the book.
Yeah, check this out. The chapter is called "Every 1% Adds Up."
That's true. That's true.
And that's how you get better. That's how you should approach everything, because it's not like these. You can't squat 100 pounds and then go from 100 pounds to 200 pounds.
No, it doesn't work.
Those little small 2.5 pound plates are your best friend in the gym. That's how you grow a little bit. Same with nutrition. Same with your workout routine. Same with your relationship. Same thing with my business. A little better each time.
Yeah, because I tried to go. I was killing. I was like, oh, I got, on a standing military press. I'm like, I could do 185. I'm like, so I'm I actually tried to do it today. I tried to do 225 stand. I'm not talking about a jerk, right? No leverage, just a pickup right here and a press. And when I talk about it was an utter failure, like I might have got like this and then my shoulders just dropped, because that extra 50 pounds, you think that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Yeah. Every 5 pounds is basically 1 rep, so if you think you can just strong arm it or, muster it out, it will show up.
Slow progression, my friend. Slow progression. One rep at a time. There's a reason why power lifters and strongmen have these fractional plates: quarter pound, pound, 0.25, and so on. Because when you get closer to your limit, you can't just jump 2.5 pounds. No. Now you need these small little fractional plates, and that's how you progress.
So what is the goal? So you got the product line coming out. First of all, let me know when it drops.
I will.
I trust you, and I support businesses, man. I think that's amazing. What's the goal? Like, is the goal to be the new gym in the US or in the world that is like, yo, like this is the new goals? Like,
no, that's not the goal. The goal is helping as many people as possible, not ever needing a doctor or medication. The goal is to teach people how to treat their bodies right, so they can like do a physical once a year and get the good news once a year, and that's it.
Should insurance and some insurances have tried to cover gym?
The answer is yes. Whatever you're going to ask, the answer is definitely yes.
Because I've always said the gym is more of a medical facility. If you kind of think about it in the area of health and wellness, should employers and companies really make it essential to have exercise as a part of their workforce's longevity?
I don't even understand why that's a question. I mean, I don't mean personally you. I mean in general, the world, the companies, corporations. How is that even a question? There's you don't even need studies, but there's hundreds of them where productivity is up, mood is up, community sense and like team building is up. What I do here is I have private boot camps for companies for team building events. So company gets their employees in here, they pay me, the gym owner, they write it off as a business expense. I make money, everyone wins. Oh, wow. And we do a team building event where I do exercises where the team members depend on each other. Right? So you have to do this until your partner finishes doing this. The faster he goes, the less you have to struggle in a plank or in a squat position or whatever, something mean and evil. So after that team building event, usually the owner of that company writes me an email and says like, whoa, productivity was up for the next week. Instead of like moaning and complaining about work, right, all those cubicles are talking between each other. Oh, that workout was so tough. Like my legs were shaking, my arms were shaking. I felt sore here, I felt sore there. The community, like the topic and during lunch breaks in those companies is completely different. Like everything changes, The other pro to like what you just said is Loss of thermodynamics and physics. A body in motion stays in motion. Therefore, a body not in motion stays not in motion. As a business owner, do you want employees that stay in motion or stay not in motion?
Stay in motion.
Get your people to move, and then they stay in motion throughout work. So and then, staying away from the doctor. Exercise can lower blood pressure, increase mood, depression, anxiety, all the stuff that people take pills for. They can just realize that exercise is medicine.
That's true.
And then with good exercise, you start having willpower to eat correct, and then the other half of your problems fall off.
That's true. Last question. Are you worried about the status of really the world's health, but specifically, I guess, because we're in the U.S., COVID, like you said, if you were a gym owner in 2020, you saw a dip, right? Even though vaccinations are rolling out. And I do believe by fourth quarter 2021, everyone will have been inoculated, right? Everyone will have been administered this vaccination. But at the same time, the damage has been done as far as the rates of obesity climbing, right? Does that scare you? Do you think that there's going to be a rebound, or do you think that, because I've always said this, like, let's say it all ends, everything goes back to normal, right? That everything's open, no mask, whatever. Does everybody start running to the gym? I mean, what does that look like? Is it what thought goes through your mind?
There's over the last year and even beginning of this year, there was a lot of different thoughts and a big progression from one thought to another thought. And first of all, I had COVID myself. I was tested positive, and I couldn't show up here at work for a good 2 weeks, actually a little more. I took an extra day. To be honest, I was bored at home. I was actually training people on Zoom from my living room. I had 2 days of like a little bit of a headache and joint aches and stuff.
Right.
And I was fine. This is a very controversial topic. So without getting too much into it, we know facts, comorbidities, right? So this just tested your strengths and weaknesses. If you didn't take care of yourself, it hit you harder than if you take care of yourself. It's just a fact. Financially, relationship-wise, or business-wise, or fitness-wise. If you weren't in a good position before, this just hit you harder. As far as coming back, yes, during the whole lockdown and stuff, we had it here for about 2 months here in Ohio. A lot of people gained weight. A lot of people picked up very bad habits that they still can't shake to this day. I'm trying to help with that, but at the end, we all make decisions for ourselves. I can't make decisions for my clients or other people or for Americans, for the world. I can't make decisions for you. I'm just here to help. I'm here to give you answers. You might not like them. I'm here to give you exercises. They might be tough. But together, we can make you stronger, fitter, healthier, mentally and physically. If not me, there's enough workouts and guides and advice on YouTube, on Google, anywhere else. You don't have to pay for this. You have the decision. You have to make the decision if you want to live a healthier, better, longer, happier life or not. If the end of the day, it's up to you. If you want to be scared and watch TV and sit on the couch and wait for somebody to save your life, not going to happen. You have to make the decision right now, and then you actually have to make actions towards that. So do I feel bad and scared? You know what? First, I wanted to say yes in the beginning of everything when I saw everyone declining like crazy. But now I want to say, no, I'm not scared, because I see my clients. I see they're crawling out of their like bunkers. They're starting to move. They see that it's dangerous to be in a fearful mindset and not moving, not eating right and stuff. They're coming out and they're getting stronger, fitter. My gym is actually doing really good right now.
Wow.
Really good. People coming in. We're taking precautions. I have enough room, and we have sanitizers, cleaners. Some people don't care at all. Some people are very careful. Some people are still trained through Zoom. They're afraid to come out. Hey, whatever works for you. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help you. I'm here to, whatever means possible, I'm here to help. I'm not worried. I'm not scared. Whoever wants to be better will be better. Whoever doesn't, they're just going to complain about it. And then whatever. That's up to you.
Perfect. Well, look, I appreciate you, brother, so much. Bo, I know you're in Cleveland, Ohio. Where can they follow you? Where can they support you? Where can they connect with you?
So a good support would be to go on YouTube and follow the channel. We have a weekly podcast as well as supportive, like here and there videos on exercise, motivation. But the podcast is all about health, fitness, and mindset. So I talk to doctors. So tomorrow I have a episode dropping talking with a chiropractor about back pain, why and how to fix it, like even at home. Last week we had a podcast with a gynecologist about menopause and fitness. So the whole spectrum of fitness, health, mindset, longevity. So the YouTube is called Stay Sore. Bo Skitsko Stay Sore. And it's called Stay Sore because of this. The Stay Sore book. So it turns out I'm a best-selling author. You can get it on Amazon. And Stay Sore just means you got to get uncomfortable if you want to achieve something. It's not just fitness. It's everything. Business, relationships, health, fitness, looks, whatever you want to achieve, got to get uncomfortable if you want something good. So that's why stay sore, stay uncomfortable, you know. And then social media, Bo_Skitsko, pretty much everywhere.
Perfect. Guys, buy the book, Stay Sore. Subscribe to his YouTube page. Follow Bo at Bo Skitsko. Also, connect with me if you want to keep seeing amazing guests like Bo. You want to keep seeing amazing content. We cover it all. His thing, he is the health guru. Follow Bo, but let me know that you are following Bo. Follow us at YouTube at CV Space K. We're all podcasts. I appreciate my guests, and until next time, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You like what you saw? Were you entertained? Were you informed? We want to keep seeing amazing content. Subscribe at the link below. YouTube, CV Space K. You connect where all podcasts are streaming. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. Connect with me. I want to connect with you.